Does your work environment feel more like a battleground than a place of collaboration? Imagine if we just change a few strategic things and finally you create a work environment where your team can thrive. Today we're going to dive into 5 ways to enhance your environment. Have you ever watched a sport game and you could feel the tension through the screen? Actually, that happened to me when I was watching the Olympics women's beach volleyball final. You could feel the tension in the crowd and also on the screen. I was feeling it. And then a magic, genius moment happened when the DJ was playing a song and completely shifting how the players and the crowd was feeling. And he managed to turn conflict into a completely new perspective and into harmony. Imagine if we can create this kind of shift in your team. What would that do to your team's happiness and productivity? The Olympic final showed us how much the environment impacts performance and well-being. And in the workplace, creating an environment is crucial. According to a survey of Gallup, they figured out that when you have a highly engaged team, then your productivity is up 21%. And social connection is one of the key drivers, and small gestures can have a huge impact, like we saw in the Olympics with a DJ playing a song, changing the environment. So here are top 5 ideas how you can make your work environment truly amazing and your team thrive. Number 1, foster social connection. And according to happiness researcher Shawn Achor in his TED Talk, Happiness Advantage, one of the easiest way to do that, to have this social connection, is to create a 2-minute appreciation exercise done every morning where you just use kudos cards and write an appreciation note to your colleague. And don't use more than 2 minutes, but you will be amazed. After 21 days, Shawn Achor found out that these teams are in the top quartile of social connection. And that's where we want to have them, because then the bonding happens and we see higher trust and higher productivity. Second, promote transparency, because when we have a transparent work environment, we know that people are much more likely to be aligned to what to focus on, what brings the biggest outcome for the team and the organization. And one cool way to do this is, for example, introduce planning poker cards for business value estimation in your team, and you can see how effectively you can create a backlog which has a clear ranking. Third, cultivate intrinsic motivators. We've already heard that transparency is very important. The 2 other pillars of successful work environments between transparency is inspect and adapt. And we want to include this into our work culture because, according to Dan Pink, the driver of motivation are autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And that's what we are achieving when we make things transparent. We have this alignment. And with inspecting and adapting, we get this autonomy and we get this mastery as well. So check out Dan Pink's work on intrinsic motivators. And one cool way to do this is, for instance, include retrospective in your team setting, where every 2 weeks you reflect your work and your processes to think together in the team, what was working great and what can we improve to become even better, from good to great, because that's where we want to go. Number 4, create a psychological safe environment. And Google did a research on their highest performing teams, and they came up with two things, and one of the key factors was to create a psychological safe environment. And one cool way to do this is to promote the concept of healthy conflicts. So how can we change this from unhealthy conflicts and create healthy conflicts? And look up the video I did about healthy conflicts to get more insights what it is about. And number 5, encourage effective communication. And I know this is hard because I'm an IT person as well, and I know that in our environment there's a lot of introverted people, but how do we get this knowledge out of the people and share it in a group setting? And one cool way to include this equal voice concept is using planning poker cards or delegation poker cards to really get the voice from everyone, because we are all knowledge workers, so we know that it's really important to get all the creative ideas out of the people. But when you work with a lot of introverted people, you have to find different ways to get this out of the people, and delegation poker cards could be one thing you could use to do that. And here's a bonus one, and it's about adapting values in your team. And for instance, take the core values of Scrum, where they have respect, openness, courage, focus, and commitment as their core values, and it helps the whole team to go on a path of continuous improvement of themselves and of the team. Just like that moment in the Olympic, small changes in your work environment can have big transformative changes. So I encourage you to start improving your work environment today so your team can thrive. And if you found this video helpful, you will love this video where I talk about that you don't need more people or outsource to improve your productivity. And now I wish you an enjoyable and productive time. And always remember, you are awesome.